Good morning. It is Saturday, the 12th of October, 2019. And in this episode of the 24 Hours of Bitcoin, I think it's about to take a big step up right now. And we're going to jump into our indicators to see how they are shaping up. Let me turn this down a bit and double check this. Insert your expletive here. Chat box. Not working. All right, let me jump in. First of all, the disclaimer. This isn't trading advice, even though we're going over markets and everything. It's really just market observation. Be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe if you haven't already. Hey, the chat box is up and working. Good day, mate. Hope you're having an excellent day. It started off well. I got up about an hour ago, put my coffee on, checked the charts. I see some bullish indicators, but I'm still overall a bear. Alright, so I got the background music on. Let me know if this becomes distracting. It's about a 2-minute clip. It'll keep looping until we're sick of it. Just let me know when. Now, the relative strength index, when I first get into this, really starts to make me feel more bullish because we're coming off of these levels. And of course, everybody and their dog is looking at the charts at this point and at this point because it's something similar to what we're seeing in the weekly. And I'm expecting it for a while now that we're going to be going up here, but we're going to get some up and down along the way as this unfolds. Let me clear this off and zoom in on our indicators. I got to change the color of this next time. So right now, with this line being up on an angle, not flat sideways, not hanging down, this is looking bullish to me. Just that start off. I apologize, I'm being distracted here with Discord in the background. I'm going to have to turn that off while I am streaming because it is quite... Done. All right. So this is setting itself up. We've been watching for a few days now for it to break above these levels and stage, and it is. While it's breaking above these technical levels, this is really important for the next little while. And as we get into the Ichimoku cloud, we'll see how that changes my view for the long term. But right now, as we're breaking above these levels and we have this double bottom, we're going to see some other divergences that are supporting that this is staging up. This is the little stairs on working our way up just for a short bit. I think we'll hit 9,600 and then it's going to have some trouble. And we'll see that occurring in our indicator here when we get there. Let's go into the 4-hour time frame. And there is our break from the stairs upwards. So now we have a different view too, that if the relative strength index is coming down below these levels, then it flips it and it turns it into a top formation that we are going down between. So it's a really big gray area that if you are trading with high leverage in this area, you will get spanked. Go small in this area. They must be nano trades in this gray zone. You can't go big on this gray zone or you will either, it'll strike it rich or you're going to get spanked, most likely spanked, because that's what the whole system is set up to do. All right, so we have some clear spots now in the relative strength index again from our pattern. Let's go into the next indicator to see what our volume is doing, because this is picked up a little bit off this last little corner. It's too small to call anything out of it. Like when you look at the volume in the past, this is nothing yet. We haven't picked up to anything to say that we're going anywhere, which reinforces a gray zone that we just don't have the volume. We don't have the structure on either side of this. But for now, this gives me a little bit more bullish lean. Gray zone, gray zone, gray zone. But as we get into Bitcoin dominance, it'll be more interesting. Now, the weekly view of the MACD is very interesting, and we've been watching it all week to see if this last histogram is longer or shorter. Shorter is more bullish, longer is more bearish. So I'm still holding my bearish stance overall, and I don't want to go bullish until this crosses to the positive for, one personality within me. When we go into the daily view, this has a cross to the positive and a really clear area of bullish intent to be watching for as this breaks above these levels, and we continue having positive histograms setting up here, and we're breaking out. This is going to sort of determine how deep or how much this breakout goes. How this unfolds from here is going to be giving us, are we coming up and going down, or are we going to fight through that and blast through this like we did 6100? And recall that everybody was all like, this is major resistance band. When we hit this, we're coming back down. And it just melted right through it and staged above it. So if we are going to melt right through this and stage right above it, this is going to tell us right there. Tweet. I don't know how to say this even. Will we... Tweet. Ugly chart. That's the daily view, and I like it. The 12-hour view is starting us out. So long as we keep this and we don't cross, then we are on the way to be staging up. If this crosses, we're not. The 4-hour has crossed to the negative right off of this point here, but it's still not terminal. The 4-hour will do the wave all the way along the trend. It'll just do that. So if it pulls back and keeps going, it's okay. So I'm not too worried about the 4-hour crossover right the way it is. I was more certain about the 4-hour crossover at the beginning of the 1, 2, 3 formation, where we have the 1, 2, 3. Now here's our new number 2 point, 3. You see how this is staging and building, and we still haven't had a crossover that is reflecting the 1, 2, 3 building the other way. This would be the first stage of it, and now if the 1, 2, 3 starts building the other way, that gives me more bearish stance right from here, and the 12-hour will cross, and that'll more confirm it. So we've got the 1-day view for the long term for melting through this support and resistance, and we've got the 12-hour view letting us know if this is breaking us above here. So we've got 2 different zones nailed here just from the MACD indicator. But for me, the Ichimoku cloud is starting to become the boss. And as this crosses, the blue line crosses over the red, I'm going to be really expecting down from there. And it's okay. In this chart, it could come down to the 6300 and it wouldn't be a problem, and it would fit right in with our logarithmic uptrend line view. It wouldn't be a problem. So now we're analyzing inside this zone to see, are we picking up from here or are we dropping off? That's sort of the question. And as we're into the 1-day view, it's not giving the answer. It's still bearish. We're below the cloud. Everything is not crossed positive in the daily view. In the 12-hour view, it has. It must have been yesterday that it crossed to the positive here a little bit. So I've got one eye on this as a sell signal in the Ichimoku cloud downtrend, and the other to see if we are flipping through this and then melting through the cloud, melting through the support and resistance. And this will unfold and it'll show us step by step. So the 4-hour already told us first. Maybe that was the 1-hour first. But this is confirming and staying confirmed. We're not crossing to the negative here. That's really key. If that's crossing to the negative and we have our 12-hour MACD crossing to the negative and we have that relative strength index breaking its trend in the shape that it was making, we've got all of the 3-4 different things to verify that this is a good place to be getting out of your long or getting into a short on nano sizes, maybe even smaller than that, because we're still in the gray zone. You've got time, if you are correct, to add on safely when we get above these zones. Now, just a little bit more here in the 1 hour. I wasn't expecting it to be back through the cloud. So it did cross to the negative, but this is just holding its bladder here and crossing to the positive. So again, support and resistance, gray zone, be small, add on to it when there's time and you're nothing else to do there. Bitcoin dominance now, if we go on to this, is the big question. If Bitcoin dominance breaks above this green line, the alts are going to feel it. They're going to be going down. They're going to be crossing over their 4-hour EMAs and their 12-hour exponential moving averages. Oh, I don't have that open. And this will be a time to get out of the alts. This is like the runway as we're getting ready for the bull market. And somebody says we don't have enough speed to make takeoff. You've got to shut down that plane and stop it right away before you're taking off. So we're watching here closely, maybe unfolding some of the positions that we've set in and not taking our eyes off the ball, because as it makes a bottom formation here, I want to go back to an example. But first, let's take a look at, we can see that the alts are suffering. These are pretty much top formations here in the 1 hour time frame. Let's zoom this out to the 4 hour time frame. We can see that alts are giving us potential top formations even at this level, and Bitcoin is giving a hint of strength off of this stance. So it could be something like, and I wanted to bring this up in an episode yesterday, but then when I got partway there, I forgot where I was going. Poloniex, BitShares, get rid of the indicator. We're on the daily view, and I'm dragging it way back to a time that many of us remember. This is a beautiful bottom formation setting up. Wouldn't you agree? Isn't this a 1, 2, 3 bottom formation from heaven after a beautiful long downtrend that the alts have been squished from hell to hell? All this like just setting up and waiting for us to get in there, and it absolutely crushed many people and went from 400 Satoshi down to 160 Satoshi on a real, actual capitulation reversal. And if the alts are crossing over the 4 hour and the 12-hour exponential moving averages out of these potential bottom formations right now, it's not a time to be holding them. It's not a time to risk it. We can wait and get back out and retake our risk again when they prove to us that they are changing direction and actually going somewhere, not faking us out again and then shitting, pissing off the roof formation, crapping on everybody's party. But we're going to stay really vigilant, because what happened right after that? After everybody lost it and dumped, it's actually when it took off. So do you think there might be some plan in here to do this on purpose in the trades? Is there some manipulation in these markets that is setting this up, or is it human hope and drama and fear and greed that does the same thing every time? But now we are prepared. We see this in advance. You guys are on this episode. You are seeing what the alts are doing right now, what Bitcoin dominance is doing. You know to be wary and you know to be ready at the same time. This is a really super dangerous zone, and it could be the phenomenal opportunity for those who have a little bit of Bitcoin. You can salt it into these crazy low levels that no one's expecting right now. Just hang out. Let's see what that Bitcoin does. Bitcoin may be taking off right now. The alts may be getting a spanking, right? We saw something like this in the past. So let's get prepared for this potential. Boom. And that went through a whole bunch of great things. I hope you guys find this as, I don't know if it's useful or not, because we'll only see if it's useful if the future actually turns out this way. But I love having it recorded for my own future self to come back and to compare, to say, did I see it coming in advance? It's right in front of us. Did I see it? Did I make a plan for both sides? And did I prepare? Did I manage my trade properly at the beginning with starting off fearful and then being greedy afterwards? Or was I trying to be greedy at the beginning, putting on too large of a trade with too high of leverage, trying to make the most of it, only to get whipped out in a small move? Anyway, that's my, that's my pulpit. That's my soapbox for today. It's Saturday. I am going to jump off the live stream now. I'm super pumped about the stuff that's going on in our Pro Alerts package. We've been upgrading the details there, and I'll talk more about it next time. But right now, I'm jumping in to work on that stuff. If you haven't already, head over to the website and download the free training, because as you know, it's not the information about technical analysis that makes the difference. You have all that information. You're looking for a plan to transform this information into regular, steady profits and a relaxed, easy way of going about trading so that it adds to your life rather than taking away from your life. I will sign off now, and I'll see you guys over on our Discord chat.